Hey, what's up everyone? I made it up to the snow and it's really windy. I still got this is like my driving gear, you don't wear your thick jacket while you're making a long drive. So I just got my flannel sweatshirt on and I'm running around, not really running around, but I'm setting up some cameras and stuff. And I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but I'm looking back out over a big valley. All forest up here. Well, this area here is a lot of the areas that I off-road in. I just got up on top of one of the higher points. I don't know if I can find a nice place that's out of the wind. I actually may not be able to cook today. I'm not sure, because you probably can't hear it. I got my good mic on, but it's pretty windy. And it's like uncomfortable to just chill, sit outside. So I got some new coffee. Black Rifle Coffee Company. Instant. Try this out. The grind is definitely finer than that other stuff I have, that Nescafe stuff. I tell you, my boots aren't cutting it. I wore my rubber boots, so they're kind of mid-height rubber boots. I bought them for rain and mud. They're slip-ons. They don't really have any insulation in them. I think they're muck boots or something. I don't remember the brand. But I got my thick smart wool socks on, and the top of my feet, my toes are getting cold standing. My feet are buried in the snow. So I'm gonna have to work on some kind of boot situation. I usually wear my Solomon's or the Under Armour hiking type boots out here that are kind of semi-waterproof. They do okay, but I forgot that when it's deep snow and you're just standing in it, it struggles to keep your feet warm. But these boots have enough room where I can kind of, you wiggle your toes inside there, and that make sure that you're doing that. So this new Black Rifle Coffee Instant, it's good. Well, that sun just came out. Had to get out of the sun. The grind is much finer than the other ones. The Nescafe ones I was using. We had talked about trying out some different coffees, and I had been wanting to get stuff from Black Rifle forever, because Black Rifle's all veterans. They got YouTube stuff that they do, really, really funny stuff, and I actually been kind of known about them and watching them for years. So I wanted to get something. I thought, oh, you know what? Let's just go on there. They're like high quality coffee. I think these guys aren't going to have instant, and they did. So I ordered some Cyber Monday, got it shipped out over 2 boxes. I think there's like 25 or 50 in each box. So I was hoping it was good, and it's good. It's strong. I want to say stronger, because I put 2 in here. You could probably get away with 1, but it's kind of a deeper, bold flavor, a better coffee flavor. But the best thing is that I'm not getting any kind of bitterness, no aftertaste from it like I did with the other one. So far so good. I don't know if you can tell, but I actually got my jacket, my flannel, my I'll be honest with you guys. This sweatshirt, this is my house sweatshirt. You can see it used to have a hood. I cut the hood off, and it's for comfort. I think there's some taco sauce on it down here. I wear it like every day. I think I've worn this 5 days in a row. But in the house, you just slip it on, and while I'm working, it keeps your chest warm. So there might be like a little taco sauce on it and something else if you see any stains. But that layering, I wore it the other day out, and I hadn't, I've got another sweatshirt, but it's thicker and bulkier, and it's got a hood too. I really like this because it doesn't restrict me at all, but it gives that layering effect. But the point I'm trying to make is it's cold. It's the wind. It's wind chill. So it's warmer here than it is at my house by maybe 5 degrees, 25 degrees to 30 degrees as it stands right now. It's about 11 o'clock already. It takes me like an hour and a half to get up here. And then I've been having some fun. Look, I wanted snow, and there's definitely snow here. It's probably where I'm at, about 4 inches deep here. Oh, my feet. I got to work on the boots. But it's so breezy and chilly. I don't know if I'm actually going to cook up here today. It's Thursday, which is normally not a day off for me, but I gave myself the day off and decided to come up here before the snow was all gone. There may, hopefully there's more storms coming in. This is a good base. If we get another storm in, this is going to be wicked up here. Super fun. But I might, because it's Thursday, I might go out tomorrow and cook, maybe in a different set of mountains. Combine it in this video. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do. As of right now, I'm just standing here. Wind's blowing this way. I don't usually have to get this bundled up. But when you're standing still, you're more susceptible to getting that cold. But my hat is keeping my head warm. Oh, I got my fire hose pants on today. So these are those lined pants that I got. Let me see if I can show you. I'll show you my pants and my boots. So these are the fire hose pants. Probably can't see them very good. Can't see my boots very good. But they're lined. They got like felt or fleece or something on the inside. I wasn't sure how cold it was going to be, to bring my heavier gear like this and my jacket. But you got to bring it just in case. You never know how the temp's going to be because the weather people are morons. They can't guess it right ever. Plus, what if something happens, right? And you need to spend the night or walk out or something. Don't go snow wheeling solo by yourself. Definitely don't go snow wheeling solo by yourself 100 miles from civilization with no cell phone service and no emergency beacon, beeper, whatever. I can't help myself. I think the stupidness of the risk that comes with that is a little bit what I like too. If you play everything safe, that's boring. I'm sorry to say. I'm not promoting dangerous actions, but let's be honest. I mean, that's why when I was younger, had a street bike, I liked to do wheelies and go drive fast. It was that edge, pushing yourself out to that edge. There's something to that, right? There's something to that, but same thing when it comes to this. But it is a lot of fun when I get my buddies out, bring out all the different, Tacomas and old 4Runners and Jeeps and all this stuff, and we come out and do some snow wheeling. There's a different type when you have all your buddies with you, right? It's like, hey, let's go up that. You challenge yourself and you also challenge your friends to try and make it up the same spot, right? And it's really fun with the different vehicles to see how each one kind of reacts and what lines they have to take. Black Rifle Coffee Company instant coffee. Tried this out yesterday. It's really good. So I've got some steak. I know. It's the top sirloin one again. Another $5 steak. I've got some beans and some herb butter. I wasn't able to get to the store. I was going to do a steak and potato recipe that a friend sent me on Discord. But yesterday and today has been a little strange. Yesterday when I got up to, oh, and by the way, you'll excuse my visible firearm. I've got some really heavy mountain lion activity right here. I took some pictures of the paw prints. Hard to make out on the camera because I can't show you like where they're running. They went right up against this tree here. I could see one was chasing a deer. There's some big prints here. I don't know what they are. They're like 4 hooves, 2 big ones and 2 smaller ones. Big. I took some pictures. I'll throw them up. But there's a paw print right here that I took a picture of. Again, like it's about the size of my hand. Anyway, that's why I've got my gun really accessible right now, just in case. As those of you that don't know, mountain lions are the only animal that actually will stalk humans in the United States. So if you think that everything's just going to be okay and you don't make any preparations, that's on you. For me, I make preparations just in case. Probably won't see anything, but I do have some, to this side, I've got a little creek bed that runs down at a low point, rocky. That's where they like to hang out, right here, where they can get above you on like rocky little cliff edge, and they can pounce down. And they go for the neck. Anyway, yeah, a little strange yesterday and today. So yesterday I drove 150 miles to find the snow, and I found it, but I didn't find it till I got all the way up, like at the highest elevation. And it was okay, but it was only about the yay deep, and the wind was blowing, and it was really, the wind chill was getting to me a little bit. Not this. I don't want to say the wind chill affected my feet. I was wearing the wrong boots. I thought those boots would be good in the snow because they're rubber. They're completely, and they've got insulation on the bottom with padding, but nothing really on the top. So I thought the wool socks would be enough. It wasn't. I was standing there just making coffee. It took like 30 minutes for me to get my feet warmed back up in the car while I was, off-roading a little bit more. So I actually just cut, and I took off. I got up. I was only up there a couple hours. I actually got home by, I don't know, probably 1, 2 o'clock, somewhere in there. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go up in my local mountains. If there's snow, great. If not, no big deal. And cook I'm getting the charcoal ready, going right now. So I got up this morning. It was 17 degrees at 8 a.m. It was cold. Still, though, right? Still, no wind. This is at my house, 17 degrees. About 1,500 feet lower than where I'm at right now. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll just watch some YouTube, have some coffee, wait till, I don't know, 9:30 or something, till, get a little bit of warmth in. And in that time, I'm like, you know what? I want to take the 80 out. I've been driving the Lexus a lot, and I don't think I've driven the 80 in the snow. My concern was that it, doesn't have traction control, so chance I'll get one wheel in front spinning, one wheel in the back spinning. And on these icy type snowy conditions, it could be tough going. But I'll show you some footage of a pretty good hill that I went down at it in low, first gear low, and just kind of slid down the hill, and then for a little bit came back and went up it, no problem. Like, no, I wasn't even on the gas, wasn't getting after it. I didn't really want to throw mud everywhere because there was patchy. I actually went off to the side. When you're in snow like this, on these kind of edges where you could fall, cliff edges, not cliffs, I don't know what to call them, sloped edges. If you stay in the tracks of someone else from like a few days ago or whatever, there's ice in those tracks and you can feel it. I get into what I call fresh snow, or it's snow where nothing has driven on. And then you'll get some fresh traction. So anytime I'm on those edges, because yesterday I actually got in a slide on one of those turns that had a sloped edge, and there was lined with big trees. And it got me a little bit. I'm like, oh shoot! Oh, luckily I grabbed when I slid over into the fresh snow. So it's something to keep in mind as you're driving on flatter or open areas, not that big of a deal. But when you're up on the edges where there's a slope where you could slide off or slide into a tree, you got to be careful with that. I've got some beans. I'm actually going to heat them up in the jet boil. I've got some butter, some herb butter I'm going to make, and I brought this little, I don't know if it's stainless steel or not, but it's what I usually make my wasabi soy sauce in for sushi at home. Hopefully I don't burn it. I might get in trouble. Get a plate out. Do a little salt and pepper, my favorite. Not too much. While my steak's cooking, I figured I'd show you guys around a little bit, the camp, but here's what I got going. It's some butter, steak, charcoal, beans, camera. So in the old days, when I was growing up camping, we always just took these cans, put them right on the fire to heat up. I was told that that leaches heavy metals into you, something, I don't know. Maybe it was the old tin cans, I don't know. So before I ever try and do that again, I need to find out what the deal with that is. But I mean, I was gonna say I'm okay, but you guys are like, oh, so that's what happened to you. But I'll show you what I was talking about as far as mountain lions. So this goes down up that side and it runs all the way down. All the way down there. It runs from there all the way up. You know, it's like a creek bed down in there, but that's where they like to be, on that other side there. It can be above you. There's a woodpecker pecking away over there. But I think I was saying earlier about how I drove, you know, really far and it was cold. My feet got cold, but I don't know if it was that. Something else kind of weird. I was driving around and it's like, I'm out of here. Like I really was looking forward to getting into the snow, but the snow, it wasn't deep. It was just, I was able to just drive everywhere, you know, which is cool. That's fine. I guess maybe in the back of my mind, I wanted more snow. I don't know. But the weird thing was I knew I wasn't going to cook because of the wind. So I was like, I'm going to get out of here. Okay, something like that would be more fun with more vehicles out there, just because you could womp around. But after I came up here in my local area, which is like, it doesn't take me half an hour to get to this spot, maybe. There's more snow here. There's more, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches, and it's blanketed. It's an old mine right up there. A few years ago, I got the Jeep stuck right over here. It's you probably can't see it from here, but the little pathway to get in and out of here is here. I was facing down, and I don't know, it was like 24 inches of snow, but it had froze. I told the story. It's on the channel, seeing me winch my way out. But then I got caught in between all these trees, and I had to winch off the front out to a tree to the back of my car and pull the Jeep sideways because I was right up against a tree. I was going to smash the top part. So that was fun. It was literally right over there. It's on a little decline like this where I parked. Problem is, I could have drove down. Man, I could drive down through and drive up that in the Jeep. Problem was, I had trees in front of me and I couldn't back up. It was so slippery. All right, let's flip this guy again. That's looking pretty good. The butter is making it a little bit darker of a char, so that's cool. This is what I was talking about with this particular jet boil. This is the mini mo. So it's a lot wider. It's shorter and wider, and you can actually cook in it like a pot, which is pretty handy. I don't usually do it. I only use it for water, but my intention was, when I did buy it, that I could do this. So I don't think this is my first time heating up maybe like soup or something in here, but it works good. Cleans up easy, you know. Because I mean, I would have had to use one of my big pans. I don't carry like a sauce pot. I carry a boiling pot in this other bag here for like boiling water for pasta or something, but not a small pot. I got the fire pit right here, and I got this deliciousness right here. Oh, it's good. Never go wrong with the old beans. I brushed a little bit of the remaining of the butter. But not too much. I really like the taste of steak by itself, but that herb butter adds just a little bit of depth. A little bit of depth. This is a nice hearty one for this weather. So I'm gonna eat, and not in front of you because I don't want this to get cold. Weather's playing havoc with my batteries on this camera, so I'm having to recharge it right now. Having to recharge it while I sit by my cooking. This thing is, the way I set it up right here with the charcoal, it's so controlled. It's like a low simmer, you know? So you can, it's really easy to cook on. It just takes maybe twice as long to do things. And then you pull that off, right? And then you can put wood in there, and it's a campfire, off the ground campfire, right? So you can kind of control kind of the footprint that you leave behind. But so far, I've only used it for cooking. I think this is my third season with it, maybe second season. I don't remember if I got it last year or the year before, but I've used it probably 6 or 7 times now. I like it. I like it a lot. It's really good if you're going to be camping out here. You set it up, cook on it, take the grill off, and just throw your wood in there. When you're doing kind of a full day trip, it's good. Doing a half day trip, it's not as good because you got to set it up. You got to break it down, let it cool down. That's why I like using it in the winter when there's snow, because I can just lay it in the snow and it cools it right down. Put it back in its canvas bag here. But the regular Coleman, stove that I've been using over the past however many videos, that's obviously, if you're just looking for speed and efficiency, that works really, really good. You set it up, you cook, close it down, take off driving. So if it's all about the driving and not really about the sitting around camp, that one's good. Like everything all packed up here. Pretty nice. Look at where the fire was. Right here. It didn't even melt the snow below it. Where I dumped it though is right there. And I poured put snow on it, poured water over it, get the charcoals all, make sure they're all out. But those pits are really nice for, when you can have a fire like that. It wasn't a big fire obviously, but when it doesn't even melt the snow below it, you're not leaving a trace of burnt ground, which is good, I think, right? I think everyone's trying, well, not everybody, but most people are trying to leave things better than they found it. So I don't know about better than I found it, but it's definitely not worse. Didn't melt the snow. Last 2 days have been really fun. I haven't even looked at what time it is right now. I just been chilling, sat by the fire a little bit. Can you even say fire? Sat by the charcoal a little bit, finished my coffee. Then I take the fire pit apart and I lay the grills and stuff off in the snow. You can see the outline here. I let them cool down, and then I flip the thing over, set it in the snow, let it cool, put it away in its canvas bag, good to go. Gives you a little bit more time to relax, but yeah, I could have, I never say that something was a mistake when you actually get out in the forest, but man, the snow is so much better here than it was where I was yesterday. I mean, just, you can see where I drove up in here, and it's so close to my house. I spent 3 hours round trip just for being up there for 2 hours. But I struggle with the weather report. I struggle with the reports that these people say it's snowing, it's not snowing, it's cold. I mean, here you got to know that if it snows and there's no cloud coverage, it's going to be gone unless you're in a really mountainous area. That's one other thing about this area here today, different from yesterday, is that there's a lot steeper edges here to cast shadows everywhere. So it keeps the snow longer. Up there, it's a big kind of a plateau. It's got some high points, but it's pretty wide open as far as the high plateau goes, so the sun can really beat down on it. But the strangest thing from yesterday was it was colder here at my house than it was all the way up there, which is up by Williams and Flagstaff. And that night, the night before I went, I did a search for temps, and it was it was going to be 9 degrees in Flagstaff. And I zoomed out to the whole United States, and I was trying to find another number that was that low. There might have been 1 or 2 other places, but it was one of, say, like the 3 coldest places in the whole country. I looked up at Minnesota and Michigan, they were in the 25 to 30 region, and we're talking about nighttime temps. So here, because like I said, it's so clear, all our heat escapes and it's just really cold. 17 degrees this morning at my house. That's why I didn't leave early. When I left, I think it was probably 28 degrees or something. I was outside. I had to take everything out of the Lexus and put it into the 80, and I just had my flannel on. But you know, the beauty of the 80 is I park it in the garage. So if I spend a really long day and I get home late at night, I can pull this thing in the garage, shut it down, lock everything up. I'm good. You know, it's not sitting outside full of gear. All right, you guys, thanks for hanging out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you next weekend. Oh. Whew.